Hello. Let me just test my mic. Hello. Hi. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm coming on a little bit late, mostly because we're having a lot of changes in our house right now. I don't know about any of you guys, but decluttering, spring cleaning is a thing, and we're having a lot of changes in our living situation right now. I would briefly pan the webcam over to show my husband changing everything over in the other room, but he's shy. But just know that, I think we're all kind of in that organizing, tossing out everything that's not, that, or donating whatever needs that's not serving any purpose in our house. I've been trying to, that's been actually my big project this year in 2018. I really feel like, as you can kind of tell from a little bit behind me, that clutter has been causing me a little bit of anxiety and really making me just kind of hard for me to focus because of everything around me, because you're outside your environment has a huge impact on your mental. So I'm not going to talk so much about the physical belongings, but I do want to bring up that that's something that really has brought this to mind for me, and I really wanted to talk about this. Today is, this whole month is going to be about minimalism, and not just as a art style or as a style of home decor, but as a lifestyle choice. And I say that because so many of us are holding on to a lot of emotional baggage and weight. We are holding on to burdens, either habits that we still cling to that we know aren't serving us or aren't doing anything positive in our lives for us, or even just thought patterns or self-talk that physically weigh us down. I really became more mindful of the self-talk I'm telling myself. And when I realized that I was telling my own self, like, who do you think you are? Thinking that you can start a business, or who do you think you are? Giving these people your feedback. They don't care. They don't want, all this different, or when I was in my day job, oh, I hate my day job. I hate my life. I hate myself. There's no way out. I'm trapped, or when I was in toxic relationships, made to feel like I was inferior, for example. This is all this running in the background thing. And for most of us, we're just not aware of it. That's why I really like to bring to clients that we are aware of mindfulness, but for most of us, okay, you sit there for 10-15 minutes and that's it. And that's not really the case. The case with that is more what I like to call mindful awareness. You need to be aware of your thoughts. You can't stop thoughts. They're going to happen. It's like the ocean or sitting at a park bench watching cars go by. Thoughts happen. You need to have enough awareness that you can watch them go by and realize, ooh, those are not healthy. I need, or just once they're happening and you're in the spiral. I call it the self-talk spiral, because it just goes whoop, doot, 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 all the way down until you're in a potentially really dark place. And just the fact that you can kind of be like, oh, I don't hate myself. I don't know why I keep feeling like that's like, or I am enough, or I'm not inferior, or I'm, like when you start to understand that that's happening in the background, that awareness is just enough to bring you out of it and see whether it's serving you. And I think that is so important. And I think that while you're purging your belongings, you also need to be, because the whole point of minimalism, I'm just going to be in a very briefly, if you have not been aware of it, it's find a million blogs on it, I can assure you, but you hold up an item, you know, and does this bring you joy? Is this something that gives you joy, that you enjoy? You know, even if it's something like, again, a home decor piece, if it's a picture on the wall, you know what? The picture on the wall may not serve a utilitarian purpose, but if it brings you joy, you need to keep it. That's bringing you joy. If it's something that you look at and it causes you anxiety because, again, the clutter or other things, then you need to part with it. That's the physical manifestation of minimalism. I also think we really need to talk about how we can approach that in our life and with our own feelings and thoughts. Don't, acknowledge they're there. You have, these thoughts, but also recognize that they're not serving you. They're not bringing you joy. They're not helping you. So this one's actually really short, but I do want to come away with one piece of, and like an actionable piece from this. I have a worksheet. It's called Are You Ready for Change? And it's about a self-inventory, but it's really inventorying what thoughts are there that aren't helping you and how you can rewrite them. And also taking into account the priorities and values in your life. Because sometimes, we can have thoughts, and they're not necessarily unhealthy thoughts, but if they're not lining up to what you can, you prioritize in your life, like when sometimes we're spending more, like I'm thinking about work. Again, not an unhealthy thing to think about work, but if your three priorities are your marriage, your relationship, your friends and family, and your faith or your spirituality, that's not lining up with your with what you value. So sometimes you have to just recognize, there's a time for me to think about that, and it's not right now. It's not while I'm on date night. It's not while I'm visiting my family. I need to set that aside. So sometimes it's not necessarily something that's toxic, but it can also still be unhealthy and not bring you joy. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a link for that worksheet. I hope that helps some people. Definitely, if you have any feedback on this or any thoughts about it, I'd love to hear from you. But yeah, until next week, everyone. See ya.